Hi everybody, it's Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art, and I'm still on vacation. So today I'm going to make one of these fold-out cards in the white from the 4¼ to 5½ pack from Heartfelt Creations. And these are the different kinds of cards, and I know you can make these yourself, but it's so nice because you would have to glue all the cardstock and get the cuts. To when you want to make something fancy, just open one of these packs and make a really neat fold-out card. From the Woodsy Wonderland collection, the critters, the Wonderland with all the pretty flowers and the treescapes, as well as the dies that cut those out. And I'm not sure which one, but I'm really excited about getting into some of these dies, which are just so cool from Heartfelt. So I'm not sure which of these products, but I will leave a link to the Heartfelt Creations section of my site, which please go visit, is huckleberryherbs.com, and depending on how fast I can get this project done and uploaded, there is a 15% off, and they're already at a discounted rate, so great end of the year savings for 2016. Okay, let me get this open and we'll find out what it looks like inside. Alright, so inside the package, these are what they look like. And they fold out, and they fold out. So see what I mean? This is, I think, approximately, let me see, they range from 17 to 22 inches long. So you're not going to be able to get this out of a 12 by 12 cardstock unless you cut and piece it together. So sorry, I need to oil this chair. Alright, so there's this one, and there's this one. And those dies fit wonderfully across the top of these. And then there's this one, which looks like that. And there's this one. So, which one to use? Well, I like this, but I also like that. And this one seems to be taller in the back, and if you fold it like this, okay, and then there's this one. Okay, so this one has the hills going downward, where this one has the hills rising, and the opposite directions in the center. I think I like this one right here. Alright, I'm going to work with that one. Now that we've chosen which one we're going to use, we're going to need to just strengthen the scores that they've given us. So I actually flipped this over and rescored it going the other way because you have to think about which way you want your card to open in the end. So if you open this way, and then this way, and then this way, that would be the normal placement from left to right that you would open a card. So it's going to actually go in this direction. So here I have one of the 6x6s, and if I were to use that, that would actually, well, I could move it over a little bit so that I get the deer in on the end. Okay, so let me see. How far would that go? If I got the deer in, where does that place? You would see the edge of the mountain and just a little of the birch. Okay, so I'm going to actually put it right there. and take my pencil, and again, these are the 6x6 panels, so I'm not even cutting from my large pieces. I'll draw the line across here so I can see where this ends, but I will leave that little bit of a green space down there in case I need it. Alright, I'm going to cut that and I'll be right back. Let me show you what I mean by I left a little. So if I turn this over, there's actually a bit of an edge because I'd rather glue this down and then go back and trim it so I'm sure that it fits on the curve. And I could have used the die, because they have dies that have just seams and dots and things like that. But I'm not worried about putting that there. I'm more concerned with, I would like to put the lace coming from behind. Now that I have this piece cut out, and again I'm going to fine tune that. When I have it glued, I can cut off any extra edge. I'll put it right up to the edge at the top. I had to consider what would happen when I went here, and I found I'm going to stay with the 6x6s for this first card, that it was easier to cut the panel away so that I could manipulate where I wanted the picture to show up approximately. I'd like to get the little skunk and a bit of the flowers and possibly some of the pink flowers on the other side and a little of the birch. So anyway, if I hold it there and look at the other side, that's approximately where I would want to be. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to leave a little space here, but then what about the die, right? So when this is closed, I want this to show through the front. And then I had to figure out, okay, where is this going to place? Well, the ruffle edge is here, and that's going to be the front of the card. Okay, so I want the die to show the ruffles right here. So what I needed to do then was figure out approximately where that curve fits, just so, which is right about there. And then I need to come down just a little bit, because I'll actually start the cut so it's going to be underneath. I'm still leaving a tiny bit of an edge right there. Now, what I'm going to do is just slide this out. And I think I'll use some washi tape right where I want it to cut. And I'm going to go to my machine and cut this. Okay, here's the big moment. I'm going to take my tape off. Ooh, that really stuck. I'll have to clean that. And look at that. Look at how nicely they fell out. Very cool. So there's the front that we're going to see from the inside. So I'll show you what we have so far. So the card folds like this. Here is the front. I'm going to cut the edges off to make that fit right. And when you open it up, this next 6x6 will fit approximately here. I'm going to be cutting the edges of that. And it looks like we got the skunk and the squirrel in. And then when you look at it from the front side, you'll see that lace. Okay, let me put some of this together and maybe pick out some more, because I'm going to have to go through the same process. So I have the next paper on, and one of the things that I've noticed in the thinking ahead part is that this backing, which I actually wanted so that when you flip it open, you have this seam that sort of matches up, and it comes from that one paper, so I'm just using one of the 4 6x6s. So you will end up going back and forth on the front with the color. Now, if that's a problem, there's a million different ways to do this. So I have some ideas I'll speak about at the end, but I thought I would stop where I'm at right now. So there's where I'm at, and just show you one more time what I'm doing to accomplish the task at hand so far. So I'm lining it up. My 6x6 I'm lining up. Careful not to go over the score line or you won't be able to close the card. this particular one is going to work out well straight across the bottom, so I shouldn't have any to cut off there when I'm done. And then I just hold it firmly, flip it over, take my die, find out where exactly it fits so that the edge is just touching. It actually is gripping a little bit in the edge of the die. And then I'm taking a piece of washi, taping it to the paper, and slipping the paper out with the die on it. And then I go to the die machine with that. Now I'm back with the piece that I cut, which I'm going to place onto the card. And what I have found is that the easiest thing to do in this case is to actually put the glue on first. And then come back with the paper, place it where I want it. Check the other side, make sure. And then I will fold this back, take my scissors, and very carefully, so that you do not cut your card, trim off the excess. All right, and there it is. So when you look at the front of the card, it has the brownish, the whitish, the brownish. So that's what I was speaking of. One way to fix this would be to just use cardstock of whatever color or materials you want, and lay down those papers so they're all the same color. But if you're trying to do what I'm doing here, which is essentially creating a scene, sort of, you're going to end up with all of the same color on this side when you open it, and by the time I'm finished, I will end up with all of the same color on that side when it's fully open in the back. But when you close it, it's going to be mixed. So you decide what you like and what is right for you. I'm going to finish this card up and get these last few pieces in the back, choose what I want for here, and I'll be back. I have finished covering all the papers onto the card, and the final outcome is that it will go brownish or maroonish into this white to the brown, and then this scene, the rest of the scene, and I've chosen some fairly plain cardstock for here. And I did take the bottom of one of the full layout pages, and I thought it would be nice to have a larger image of the family that's on the front, because when you place the card like that, you would see the back, and then when you place it like that, you would see this image. So I have all my bits and pieces, and I'm going to start decorating. I do think that I don't want to load up the card so much that it won't even close, but I have some ideas of maybe putting that little guy with the mouse here and some of the birds up there, and maybe adding one of the flowers right here. So I'm going to do that and finish this card, but I hope this has helped you to get an idea of what to do with these. And they come in 3 different sizes and 3 different variations in color, craft black and white. And one of them, the largest one, I think, well, you can check it when you look at the site, has a shadow box too in it. So you get a couple cards and a shadow box. And the lace die cuts, the Fleur Border Basics. That's the one that I ended up using. And I will put up a finished project share video when I'm done with this. Hopefully it helps you to get an idea of what to do. I'm sure there's 1,000 ways, and people who have been making these cards forever. I had a really good time because I don't have the time to start off with all the measuring and cutting. Maybe someday, but right now with choir and school, my short vacation, I'm glad I have these. Alright, if you would like to get any of these or any other Heartfelt Creations or Graphic 45 or some Ranger Project products, huckleberryherbs.com. Right now, if I can get this edited and uploaded fast enough, there's a 15% off end of the year sale until midnight on New Year's. And I will be back maybe to do this final showing of the card. So watch for that. I'm still working on the last pages of the Italiana Riviera. I have some lavender projects ahead and some parchment paper. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope this helped you a little. I hope it wasn't too confusing. Till next time, this is Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art. God bless.